Hi, it's Maggie the Irish Gypsy here to bring you your June 2018 mid-month readings. Thank you so much for joining us here today. Welcome to any newcomers, and thank you for all your support, feedback, and comments, and your likes and shares and subscribes. Please keep it up. And also, always a big thank you to all of my clients out there, regular and new, for keeping me so busy with the one-on-one readings. And if any of you are interested in a personal one-on-one reading with me, as you know, you can get more information and my contact details by going to my YouTube channel's homepage and clicking on the little About button, or by clicking on the description bar of all the videos I post. The sun just came blazing in through the window just now. Please feel free to email me directly at maggie1mcguire@gmail.com. I would be delighted to work with you and set up a personal reading as quickly as possible. Turnaround time is pretty fast, as I do readings full-time, 5 to 6 days a week. It is what I do. So please, if you're interested, reach out to me, and I will get back to you within the same day or the first 24 hours of your initial contact. I do a wide variety of readings in all areas of life, including gift readings if you want to gift someone with a personal reading. For quick answers to the quick, simple, easy questions, you can also find me on the smartphone app Instantgo under Irish Gypsy, and that link is also provided with all my contact info. All right, let's move into this. This reading is for the fire sign of Aries, Aries the Ram, for June 2018 mid-month. So we're looking at the last half of June here. Make sure to watch your rising and your moon sign videos for additional clarification if you know them. All right, Aries. Let's see what the last couple of weeks of June have in store for you. We begin with the World, followed by Judgment. You know, Leo had the World as overall energy as well too. Another fire sign. At or towards the end of the month, we have the Star and Temperance. From the bottom of the deck, your overall energy and guidance is the King of Wands, you yourself. My goodness, Aries, what a fabulous wrapping up of the month, the last half of the month, which is nice to see, because I know for most, if not all of the signs, the first half of the month looked like it had the more challenging energy, but that it eased as the month went on, and I'm seeing that for the last half of the month. Out of the 5 cards for your mid-month readings, your overall energy is you yourself, the King of Wands, manifesting as the King of Wands, and then everything else is major arcana cards, so definitely a significant potentially significant month of shifts and changes as we bring things to a close and transition into new things. It looks like a decision has been made, Aries. Either you or someone perhaps close to you, or a major decision's been made in your life in terms of bringing something to a close or moving on from something in your life, a major portion of your life. We have the World and Judgment around the middle of the month, third week or so, although this is really energy that kind of carries out over all of the month. So the World clarified by Judgment. The World is a card of completion, major completion. It's the last major arcana card in the tarot. The first major arcana card is the Fool. He has the 0 at the top of his card, and everything after that is about the Fool's journey through life, which is our journey through life, and how we learn and grow and evolve until we get to the end. Not the end of life per se, but the end of a particularly significant portion of your life as you're transitioning on into something else, which is what the World represents. And it can represent also kind of taking a moment to pause at the top of that mountain, at the top of the World, and take a look back at the path that you've walked, what it's taken to get you from where you started to where you are now, and the potential and promise of what lies ahead. So you may be having some of that reflective energy for the last half of the month as you're bringing things to a close and beginning new things. But I think that there's been a major decision reached about a closure of something, ending something. I feel like some of you may be deciding to move or to not return back to a certain place as well, that you may be done with that. Definitely a portion of your life, a significant portion of your life is coming to a culmination phase, and you're making decisions about that. Of course, the details and specifics will vary in a general reading, but the energy fundamentally remains the same. I say decision because or some of you, it may be around the middle of the month or so, you know, give or take a little bit in either direction. You may be in the process of making this choice and decision about whether or not to bring something to a close. Something is coming to a close, I feel, for all of you anyway, in one form or another, but you're making a decision on how to do that, whether it's a final closure of a place, a situation, a relationship, or the ending of a part of it so that you can transition on into something else, because the world is clarified by judgment, which is a card that typically shows up when there's a decision or a choice that needs to be made. And there's an air of finality to judgment too. It's a call to action. You need to choose a path, make a decision on something that has to do with closure, starting over again. But the air of finality means that, you know, whether the decision seems really big in the present or small in the present, the ramifications of what you choose, the consequences and outcome of what you choose are going to set the stage for something for quite some time. It's going to have a long ripple effect. So of course, the cautionary advice is to choose wisely, carefully, and consider kind of everything, all the pros, all the cons, all the potentials before you set something in motion, particularly if it's about closing something out. So, and I feel like some busy energy too. I feel like a lot of you are kind of, it almost looks like feast or famine in activity. It's like you have days where you're really busy taking care of details of wrapping things up or transferring things, I'm getting. And then days where you're just in this contemplative, reflective energy. So at or towards the end of the month, we have this magnificent energy of the Star and Temperance. The Star is one of my favorite major arcana cards. The Star and the Fool are my two favorite major arcana cards. The Star is a card of renewed hope, faith, and optimism. This is kind of this card usually shows up after a period of darkness or challenge or sickness or heartache. And it's a card of waking up one day and realizing that everything's going to be okay, trusting whether or not you can see the path or how it plays out, trusting in God, trusting in your spirit and angels and guides, trusting in divine timing and orchestration, that as long as you keep putting one foot in front of the other and doing what's been placed in front of you to do, it's going to lead to your joy and fulfillment, because it's trusting in that divine timing and orchestration in the life path that you're on, which is what this woman is doing. She's emptying her pitchers of water out completely into the body of water she's kneeling in, with perfect faith and confidence that her pitchers will be restored, because the source itself is limitless. It's that much trust, faith, and confidence. I often, sometimes when I see this card, think of that biblical scripture, love hopes all things, believes all things, waits for all things. So there's a sense at the end of the month, Aries, of renewed hope, faith, and optimism after what I know for most, if not all, the signs was a very kind of turbulent and challenging May or spring even. So there's this renewed sense of hope, faith, and optimism as a sense of finally having found your balance. The accompanying and clarifying card for the Star is the major arcana card of Temperance. This is about being in the middle. This is about being balanced, being grounded. When you're in the middle, you're less likely to fall off. My analogy is always being in the middle of a seesaw or a teeter-totter. When you're on the outside ends, when you're not sure, when you're not grounded, when you're not centered, when you're on the outside of the seesaw or the teeter-totter, you're at the mercy of external elements, meaning other people, other opinions, situations. When you're not sure and you're not centered and you're not grounded, it looks like you find that peace. You make your decision, you find your peace at the end of the month. That's what temperance really means, being balanced, holding opposite extremes in perfect unison and harmony. In the culinary world, to temper something means to take something usually of opposite temperatures, something really hot and something really cold, and blending it together slowly, patiently, until it becomes this beautiful, harmonious mixture. So it's all about staying grounded, which it looks like you do at the end of the month. Aries, with a renewed sense of hope, faith, and optimism after careful contemplation and some decision making about the closure of something and how to transition into something new or start over again. And you are just, and it looks like the last half of the month, you are just manifesting as exactly who you are. Beautiful, wonderful fire sign Aries. Your overall energy is you, the King of Wands. It could also represent another fire sign individual in your life that's significant, whether in your sphere or, you know, another Leo, another Aries, or Leo or Sagittarius. This could be you or another fire sign that's significant to you, whether it's in your sphere or this is a person, male or female, that you're having this, a lot of this contemplative energy around, or decision-making energy around. But in the upright position, positive. It's dynamic, action-oriented, fluid, passionate, energetic, the energy of getting things done as well, which I feel you are during the last half. I feel like in the last half of the month, again, this sense of days off and being busy and having a good time with friends and family, and then days where you're like getting a lot of details done. You're running around getting a lot of things done, but getting it done, knocking everything off the list one at a time. Gorgeous, powerful reading, Aries. Happy to bring it to you. So that pretty much wraps up your June 2018 mid-month readings. I hope that you enjoyed it and found it helpful and useful. It's a brilliant, brilliant energy for the last part of June for you, Aries. Again, if any of you are interested in a personal one-on-one reading with me, please feel free to get more information and my contact details by clicking on the little About button on my YouTube channel's homepage, or clicking on the description bar of the videos I post. Please feel free to email me directly at Maggie1McGuire. I would be so happy to work with you. And you can also find me on the smartphone app Instantgo under Irish Gypsy for fast answers to fast questions. I will see you all again in a couple of weeks, Aries, for the July 2018 general readings. And until then, as always, I wish you joy, peace, blessings, and a happy life. Take care, and I hope to see you back here again soon. Bye-bye.